midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
DC!
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
95.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Wilson being chased out left. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Rams taking the field here with that 8-0 record, their most recent victory over Green Bay, 29-27. 8-0 for the second time in franchise history, CD. Do you know the other time?
1969, head coach George Allen. The Rams won 11-3 that year.
They did indeed. And Jared Goff, if you're talking about that 8-0 record, one of only two quarterbacks under the age of 25 in the Super Bowl era to lead their team to an 8-0 start. And his hand is up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know who that other quarterback is?
Dan Marino with the Miami Dolphins.
You're 2 for 2. You rarely miss. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Gurley had a touchdown last week against the Packers, so that extends his streak. It's now 11 straight regular season games that he has scored, and he has 15 scores on the year.
And that ties the club record set by one of the best names in NFL history, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. I love that name.
And Todd Gurley leads the NFL in rushing with an even 800 yards through 8 games. That's nearly 200 more than Zeke Elliott in second place.
Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, Tom Fears catching passes from Norm Van Brocklin and Bob Waterfield.
Going back in the pass.
Merlin!
The throw on second down is gone. Out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Penny on the counter. And he's got room. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Check 50, check 50.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Second and 10, it's Wilson again. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Mark Barron in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Third and long, it's Wilson. And a pressure gets to him again. And Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going as they take over following the punt with a first and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? find the matchup, create it, exploit it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Seattle Seahawks, they have won 4 of their last 5 after starting 0-2. And, you know, in most divisions, they'd be in good shape. But right now, they're 3.5 games back of the 8-0 Rams in the NFC West.
Yeah, just let them go. Don't worry about that part. Try and qualify as a wild card. And Russell Wilson can help them get there. 3rd straight game with 3 touchdown passes. Led the NFL last year with 34. 16 already this year through 7 games. And how about that offensive line? They've taken a beating about how poor they've played in the past few years. They've just contributed to a franchise record 4th straight game with 150 more yards rushing. Chris Carson had 125 on the ground in Detroit. Look out for the Hawks.
And coming up, they'll get both teams from L.A. First the Chargers and then at the Rams Week 10. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 63 yards. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And it's 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down in distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal.
Don't take forever, okay? Shotgun.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. From the end zone, gone. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And now running right through it. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Past the 20. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley taking it in. And the Rams are in for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the 1st half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's got some space here. The 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, 46 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Janikowski good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. To play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff sliding out of the pocket. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
pitch it back to Gurley. And some room to work. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Gurley again here on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Shaquill Griffin in on the stop defensively. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip through.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Throwing on third. Goff steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. And they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Tempo. 14.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Sam Shields. And he's got his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Hey, 76.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 55 yards. Throwing is Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Janikowski adds the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, Goff buying time to his left. Going left side, it's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play that time for the Rams. 41 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
Go, sit on. 20.
Gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him for a loss of 5.
66.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Good, we're good.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff on the move to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Goff. Flushed out right. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, first and 10 at the 20. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 39 yards. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Goff will lead the Rams up here first and 10 at their own 24. Now it's Gurley. He takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll fake the handoff. Now gone. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Shaquill Griffin with a pick. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
Penning, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There to make the tackle, Samson Ebukam. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Trey Flowers picks it. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Here's a give to Penning. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On the counter, Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And out now come the Seahawks. With the score where it's at, a field goal essentially doesn't do them much good here. A touchdown, though, and they're really in business.
Yeah, exactly right, because taking over the ball in this type of field position, all right, they feel good about what the defense just did. If you're calling plays, you're still thinking aggressively. You're not thinking, all right, let's just run the ball and try and get 3. You want to put it downfield, call your big shots, and try and get that big, big score.
They run again with Carson. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now, back in my old days, before college, I played a little bit of offense. I used to love to pitch the ball to my backs. How about that pitch right on that play?
Yeah, going right. People run to the right more than to the left, don't they, in real life and in video games.
That is true. A lot of offenses constructed to run to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Those big tackles, usually your power blockers.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On 2nd down, here's Penny. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Wilson wants to throw it, and this is caught, and that could seal it. It's a touchdown. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougald. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. On first down, gone. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
20. Hey, lift.
Second and 10. Goff again. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final two plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Throwing again is gone. Now a desperation throw. And this will be caught at the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. Back to throw. Gone. And this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
180.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. One last throw here for Goff. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. But probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation. Yeah. Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.